And I say, yo, let's go live for the fourth, man. I've been very consistent. I'm telling y'all, I'm getting very more consistent with y'all, giving y'all content, giving y'all live streams, giving y'all pre-recorded videos. I'm very much consistent on the content. You know what I'm saying? Consistency is what keeps your channel keep going, is what keep your channel alive. Without consistency, you has no great successful channel. So salute to everybody. I know some of y'all gonna be coming in soon, but smash the like button. Come in here, come up in and smash the like button. Salute the channel. It's the Bullets Gotti Show 2.0. We live today. Oh, thank you for the happy fourth. Thank you for the happy fourth. Thank you, I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Salute. Um, Today I want to discuss this whole Mann Act situation, and I want to say this right because a lot of people is upset Puff One, and they trying to say he lost or he blew trial. Let's really talk about the Mann Act and who it was created for. That law was created in 1910. A lot of people don't know that. If you don't know the history, it was created in 1910. The original name of the Mann Act was called the White Woman Act. That's the original name. You can look it up. It was never the Mann Act. They didn't call it the Mann Act in 1910. They called it the White Woman Act, right? And it was created for Jack Johnson because, like I said the other day, Jack Johnson was trafficking his wife. They alleged, try to say he was uh, transportation trafficking his wife from state to state. That's what they was trying to say, the feds. Because at the time, interracial dating was, you know, it was disturbing to those white people. And they ain't like to see a black man. He was beating they fighters. That's one thing. He was beating they fighters, right? It's another thing when you sleeping with our women. You kicking our fighters' asses, but now you sleeping with our women and you flaunting it. You got the gold teeth in your mouth. You riding around and foreign cars. Yeah, I appreciate that. Happy Independence Day. Yeah, happy Independence Day. You ride around these foreign cars. You got all this gold teeth. You got these designer suits. You wearing mink coats. You know, you got all type of design of this, design of that. So these people didn't like that, and they had to sit them down. You know, and by sitting them down was hitting them with the same thing that they hit Puff with, the transportation, and which was called the Mann Act, which is AKA called the White Woman Act, right? Which Jack Johnson should have never spent any time in jail. That's why they had to pardon him. Because how can you spend a man? How can a man spend time in jail because of the woman that he's with? It's his wife. You know. Couple years later, I would say like 30 to 40 years later, they went after Chuck Berry for the same act in the same situation, which was called the White Woman Act, and they went after Chuck Berry, alleging that he was basically traveling state to state with these white female groupies, and they locked him up because of that. He went to jail because of that, which he should have never went to jail for because those was groupies. So with Chuck Berry, Jack Johnson, R. Kelly, and Diddy all got in common that they always tried for the Mann Act, which is called transportation and engaging with a prostitute, like the feds want to say. But I always say, yo, like I said, this case is a misdemeanor case because, like I said, man, everybody deals with fucking escorts or whatever. A lot of these politicians, a lot of these white businessmen deal with prostitutes and shit like that. You know, Bush number two man at the time, you know, Randall Tobias, who got caught and stepped down from his duties because he got caught dealing with and calling and ordering prostitutes from a call-in service. Look him up. Randall Tobias. He was Bush #2. He stepped down from his position because he got caught dealing with a mail-in service. Same thing with Elliot Spitzer. He also was caught in a brothel dealing with prostitutes. He stepped down as the governor of New York City, and David Patterson had to do that. So Diddy shouldn't serve no time for this. It should be time served. You know what I'm saying? Because like I told everybody, and I'm gonna say this again, this whole case was a weak, stupid case. And everybody with common sense is saying this. People that have been to the feds, people that hasn't been to the feds, just lawyers, people in general are saying, yo, let that man go. Like, that's a fucking, like, that charge there is a stupid charge to even fucking, like, try to get a prison sentence of. Because everybody does what Puff did. Everybody pays for a chick flight. Like, that's nothing new. Dudes paying for chicks' flights. It's dudes doing it right now, paying for a chick flight to come engage in sexual activities. You know what I'm saying? They got him for Jane Doe and Cassie. And like I tell people, like, what was the sense or the point of even trying to have a case when everybody does it? Like I said, man, look up Randall Tobias DC Madam scandal. You know, that was right before Elliot Spitzer scandal. You know, the DC Madam scandal happened in 2007. Spitzer happened in 2008. And then after Spitzer and Tobias, then it was Anthony Weiner, his scandal. And a lot of these scandals, like I said, is men engaging in consensual agreements. You know what I'm saying? People don't like Puff, that's cool. You don't gotta like the dude. But to say he need to spend time in prison for what? You know what I'm saying? That don't make sense to me. That just don't make sense to me. A man spending still sitting in the cell. Like he should have been released. You know? Hold on one second. Hold on one second, y'all. Hold on real quick. I'm gonna be right back. I'm trying to see what the fuck going on. Hold on real quick. Yo, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. My apologies for keeping y'all waiting long. I apologize for that. I was on a long business call, and I told y'all I got a cookout going on in my crib. So we cooking out. We doing a straight up doing a barbecue. So I'm cooking out, doing a barbecue. You know what I'm saying? I got my dog. I got my step pops brought me a bully. You know what I'm saying? Well appreciated for my birthday. So I apologize for being so long and not finish up what I was talking about. So let me get back to the topic, what I was saying. Um, so what the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah. So the Mann Act, like I told y'all earlier, was created. You know, it's downstairs. It's downstairs. The dog downstairs. Y'all want to see the dog? Y'all want to see the dog? Hold on, man. It's downstairs. I gotta go downstairs, man. Hold on. He downstairs. Yeah, I know him, man. Husky. Hold on one second. Yeah. Dog right here. Hold on. What's up, little man? What's up, little man? What's up, little man? What's up? What's up, shorty? Look. Yeah, man. Yeah. Nah. That's not a that's a she. That ain't a he. That's Bella. Bella. That's her name, Bella. That's Bella. Yeah, man. Step house, bro. Yeah, I did. I was over here. I said hello. Yeah. So, yeah. Yo, I done had mad dogs. Look, this is my other dog right here. This is my dog Ice, man. I keep his ashes in my bedroom. You know what I'm saying? That was my baby. I ain't no nigga. A nigga shouldn't have no cat. I ain't no nigga. A nigga shouldn't have no cats, my nigga. We dog lovers over here. You know what I'm saying? That was my nigga. Ice was my nigga. R.I.P. Ice, man. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really gonna do cause man, not all Muslims have cats, yo. Stop the bullshit, Mikey. Not all Muslims have cats, man. I know some Muslims, man, they got dogs. I know Muslim cats that got bullies, man. Not all Muslims got cats. You know what I'm saying? That's some caparoo right there. That's some caparoo. They try to make it seem like all Muslims got cats. That's caparoo, man. You know what I'm saying? I know a couple Muslim brothers that got dogs, man. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Now them Arab dudes, yeah. I've seen a lot of them Arabs got cats, but they ain't the real Muslims, man. Let's get that clear. They the half-breed Muslims. You know what I'm saying? And that's for another no disrespect, but they the half-breeds. They the Aryans mixed with the niggas. That's the majority of where the Arab is. They saying niggas, aka mulattoes. You know what I'm saying? So that's a white man preference, or like cats. Niggas, we like dogs. You know what I'm saying? It's a fact. It's a fact. Just being honest with you. We love dogs. You know what I'm saying? But let me get back to what I was talking about. So back to what I was saying, because I ain't finished talking about the Puffy shit. So let me get back to talking about the Puffy case. So the Mann Act. If y'all know about the Mann Act, I told y'all that's the White Woman Act. Elliot Spitzer, you know what I'm saying, and Randall Tobias, like I said, both, you know, had a case like Puff. Now, this case with Puff, let's keep it real, bro. Cassie wasn't a person that was not a willing participant. She was a willing participant, right? She was a willing participant. She loved freaking off. She loved her. That's why the jurors didn't believe her. That's why the jurors didn't believe Jane Doe. That's why the jurors didn't believe Capricorn Claw. The jurors didn't believe them because they looking and they hearing, yo, these bitches love freaking off. They love having sex. They love getting nasty, baby old. They love it. You got these niggas, these simp ass niggas that was caping for these chicks. Talk about, oh, nigga wrong. Yo, that nigga need to go to jail. And I'm listening to these dudes and I'm saying to myself, yo, bro, these chicks ain't never in they wildest dream or in their mouth said that they had a problem or they didn't want to be involved in that type of lifestyle. Because they involved, they love it. They love it. They love it. So I don't understand how people getting offended. You know what I'm saying? How people getting offended. You know, I don't know how people getting offended. They talk about, yo, Puff lost and all that. Like, I've seen people getting mad. They yo, son, people on YouTube right now, I kid y'all not, these people like Candace Owens, a lot of these black women, these white women, Megan Kelly, you know what I'm saying? Nancy Grace, black and white woman, is mad that Puff beat the case. They is mad that Puff beat the feds. I'm saying to myself, y'all really mad at this man for being found not guilty when people lied on him? Y'all mad that he beat the RICO? That wasn't, they overcharged him. And not only that, they didn't have a strong case. They threw the guns out. They threw a lot of shit out because the case was not strong. It was weak. If the feds had a strong case, people would have been found guilty. He'd have been found guilty. They had a strong case. They had a weak ass case. And they knew it was weak. But the pride and the ego of the Southern District of New York, they couldn't let that go. They couldn't take that L. They pride was on the line. Their ego was on the line. They couldn't take that L. And they can't take the L now. Because like I said, the pride and ego got them fucked up in the game. We knew Puff. Like I told people on Clubhouse, I said, Puff beating this. Everybody, oh, you don't know what you talking about. You going against the feds. That's all they kept saying. Oh, you going against the feds. You can't go against the feds. You lose every time you go against the feds. He should have took the plea deal. I'm like, he should have took the plea deal. Y'all really think he should have took the plea deal? Okay. That's crazy. You know? That he should have took the plea deal. And because he didn't take the plea deal, they had a problem with him. Happy 4th, man. Y'all know I'm going to keep it real about the 4th of July, man. Let me just keep it all the way real, right? I don't celebrate the holiday. You know what I'm saying? Because the history. But I like the function of the holiday. That means I like the fire. I like shooting my fireworks. I like, going to cookouts. I like doing shit like that. But far as like celebrating the 4th of July as a melanated person, that my ancestors, didn't have no freedom. When America, when these Europeans that used us, and I'm going to keep it all the way real, then I'm going to get back to what I'm talking about with Puff. When these Europeans used our ancestors, right, to win the war against the British, because the British was kicking their fucking ass. Just keep it real. And they had a lot of people that looked like us helping them kick their fucking ass, right? So when we was when we was on both sides, the British and the American side, fighting a fucking war, you know what I'm saying? And America was like, we not gonna give y'all freedom. Why not? We helped y'all win the war. Now I always say, man, I don't blame nobody. I don't use the race thing, but I just know the context of the history that, the indigenous people that fought the war that got us the independence, you know, we weren't able to celebrate it, which we should have been able to celebrate it. We we gave y'all and we helped y'all win the war, like literally. Like it was the melanated indigenous soldiers that helped to win that war. You know, let's keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we are indigenous. That's how you don't know your history, bro. That's how you don't know your history, bro. How is we not indigenous? First of all, we not even black people. Black is not even a term that they even acknowledge themselves to be. So let me explain something. In the Law Dictionary, they say black is a curse. So at the end of the day, in the Law Dictionary, when they say black is a curse, right? Black is really a curse. So anybody that say that we not indigenous, how we not indigenous? How we not indigenous? To be indigenous and to be in this land that we call the United States of America, we was already in the landmass. So when the Dutch settlers and the Europeans that came from England, that came from the Dutch that came from that was Dutch, that came over here, there's no such thing as dinosaurs. Let's stop that, please. Let's stop the dinosaurs thing. Like the only thing that you could say that was real is the cavemen, right? And we not even the cavemen, but there's no such thing as no dinosaurs. Okay, those scientists that created that whole illusion of dinosaurs, like I've always asked them, well, show us these dinosaurs. They never showed us that. That's the same people that tell us that we wrong for saying that the earth is flat. The earth is flat. You know what I'm saying? But they'll tell you, oh, you're crazy. You're a conspiracy theorist. What are you talking about? The earth is flat. The earth is not flat. The earth is from Florida. The earth is flat. You know? That's crazy. You know? And that's all the way facts. You know? Fred Flintstone was a cartoon character. Come on. Come on, man. Fred Flintstone was a cartoon character. Let's really stop with this, man. Like, bro, how do you explain the elephants? First of all, right? Let's be honest with this, right? Can we really be honest? Like, if we want to talk about the weather, or we going to talk about the earth, or we're going to talk about history, like I tell people, right? I don't believe in race, right? I don't believe in black or white, because a Caucasian person is not a white person. Their skin is not white. Their skin is pink, right? And the majority of a lot of Caucasian people are not fully Caucasian. This is facts. So an Italian, an Irish, a Greek, an Albanian, a lot of those people have a lot of Moorish blood in them because the Moors was all through Europe. So yes, they may have European, Euro blood, but because there's so much of the mixing that went on, and it still is mixing to this day, because the mixing started, and we have to remember, in the 7th century of AC after Christ. So in the seventh century, in 700s, I think it was 700 AC was it 720 or 750 that they went to Europe, and a lot of the Europeans when they went there. This is why when you look at the Italians, they have a olive oil skin. You know, the Irish is very dark people. You know, a lot of these people that come from there, they have a darker skin. Why? Because the Moors was all throughout the whole Europe. So when they go and do their DNA, a lot of Europeans, they be like, oh, I got sub-Saharan African in me. But they all try to deny that they had the same blood we got. That's why I never understood why Caucasians always say that we basically say that we care about race. It's never been about race. It's the human race. I never understood that whole, because if you go back in history and you just read books, it tells you that civilization started where it started in Al-Kebulon, and then started in, y'all like to say, in the Middle East. It's no such thing as the Middle East. The Middle East is a term that was created by the Western society. The West created the Middle East, just like the West created black, just like the West created black Americans. You know, if you remember how the Greeks are very dark people. They're darker people. This is facts. You know, so it's not me trying to regurgitate or doing anything. It's just people need to read books, you know, and that's why I always tell people, like, if America taught people the truth and basically tell them the facts of history, I think a lot of these race issues would not be a problem in this country. I think the problem in this country is why we have a big race issue is because we want to deny history. We want to deny that everybody was at one time the same, and that basically things happen. Now, whether you want to act like it didn't happen, it did. You read the Bible, they tell you about the Canaanites, they tell you about, you know, the cavemen and all the stuff that was going on. This is stuff that's in the Bible, man. You know, so like I said, the mixing been going on. You know, it's nothing new. It's nothing new under the sun. You know, it's nothing new under the sun. You know, that's why if you really look, and I always tell people, and a lot of people know this is the true facts. You know, at a time, everybody was considered the N-word. You know, if you didn't have the blood of a Dutch, or any of the Dutch that was over here, or the Englishmen that were over here, they didn't consider you a Caucasian or Aryan. You know, the Italians, they was considered, you know, Guineas or grease balls. You know, the Irish, they call them mix and all that. They didn't look at them as basically as Caucasians. It wasn't until like the 1910s, what was it, 1910s, 1920s, when the census came out, they started saying, oh, we're going to put them as, you know, we're going to do our numbers. So, you know, to keep our numbers alive, we're going to make the Italian, make him Caucasian. We're going to make the Irishman Caucasian. We're going to make the Greek man Caucasian. We're going to just keep our numbers in line to make these people Caucasian, when you basically know that these people wasn't even Caucasian. They're not even fully thoroughbred Caucasian. They're mixed race people. It's just what it is. You know? But, I mean, the arguments is always going to be race. America created that race shit. You know? Before that, there was no such thing as race. If you go to any European country, you see the artifacts of the Moors. The artifacts of the Moors is still in Europe to this day. You know, my great-great-grandfather, you know, who came from Portugal, you understand what I'm saying? Who was a Moor that came from Portugal, came to the States, you know? So a lot of the Moors was, you know, you get the history. The Moors was very strong. Yes, they created the Moors. They wanted to make the Moors into to villains. But if you really know, they had the rule in Europe for a long time, from the 700s, all the way to the 1400s. Just keep it real. Cause you was out of pocket, Corbin. You was out of pocket with the N word. It was nobody before the Moors. Actually, there was. Let me just say this, right? So you had the dark skinned Arabs, right? What you call the black Arabs. But the Moors was always around. You know what I'm saying? You had the black Arabs, you had the Hebrew Israelites, the dark skinned Hebrew Israelites, you know, the melanated dark skinned Hebrew Israelites, and you had the Arabs. You know, everybody wasn't mixed. It wasn't until later that, you know, mixing came. Just like with the Indian people, right? They is Ethiopians. But they'll make you believe that they're just a different group of people. They're the same as the Ethiopians. Same as the same as the Ethiopians, man. So it's a sad situation, man. You know? I mean history is history, bro. Yeah. Yeah, Putin showed that, but we always knew that. You know what I'm saying, baby Grizz? We always knew that Jesus was a melanated person, because Jerusalem is a dark is the place you gotta look. It's a hot place. The original people of Jerusalem is the Ethiopians. They still there to this day, but they try to push them out of Jerusalem, right? That's why I be trying to tell people, like, everybody want to talk about having them conversations now, but when people wanted to have them conversations before, everybody was so scared. Kanye West got everybody want to talk about it now. Now everybody is got their panties in a bunch. But before Kanye, nobody wanted to speak. Everybody was treading on thin ice, you know. But Kanye, you know, is saying what we always knew. You know what I'm saying? So when I hear these people like Candace Owens and all that, and y'all wasn't talking like that before, y'all started talking like that because of Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't have those opinions, cause then when they spank y'all pull back and y'all leave that topic alone. We know what it is. If you stand for something, you stand for it all the way. You don't kowtow, you know, to keep, you know, your name in the algorithm or keep getting money. Like, come on, bro. Know what it is. These are the same people, bro. The same people. All these people that say they hate them. Like, who do you think started the KKK? Who do you think started a lot of these groups? Same people. So it's no different than the people. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just laughable to me when people have these conversations, but it is what it is, man. It's laughable to me. Yeah, I appreciate that, dude. I appreciate that, family. But yeah, back to what I was talking about with the Puffy thing, because I'll keep getting sidetracked over that. So yeah, like with the Puffy thing, his defense did an incredible job. You know, they slayed the prosecutors, and a lot of people, like I said, when you watch a lot of these pundits on YouTube, that's like they say, "Oh, he lost." Like dudes, I'm hearing these dudes and others saying he lost, but I'm saying to myself, how did the man lose? You got people in the comments saying that the man won, and you had people that's disgusted. You got Candace Owens, you got Megan Kelly, you got all these. Like that's how you know a lot of these women be low key feminists. They be low key feminists. Y'all see why I don't support none of them women? Y'all see why I don't support none of them women that act like they got this. Oh, I'm not like these women that say they conservative, right? I'm not like the feminists. But watch when a situation like this Puffy case come. A lot of these women all come together, black, white. They all come together because they all feminists, bro. That's why I be telling people, like, when Trump won the election, you saw everybody came together because people like minded people, and they all agree together, will collab and come together. So in that instance, that's what's going on. Hold on, dude. You can't be timing people out, family. You can't be doing that, man. Chill with the timing out. Can't time people out. I understand, no trolling, but bro, you can't do that. Just come on, man. Just relax. We don't gotta time people out, bro. I get it. You know, if I bless y'all with a beam, man, y'all can't be doing that. Only the ones that be violating, that saying crazy shit, yeah, y'all could time them out and do whatever, but you know, we don't gotta time everybody out. But yeah, back to what I was saying though. What was I saying again? I was I lost what I was saying. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Peace and blessings to you. I'm doing very great. Hey, what the fuck was I getting ready to say? Oh yeah. So back to what I was talking about. So, like I said, if you really look at this whole case, man, it exposed people true colors, man. You know, Diddy didn't have a strong. Let me keep it real with you, right? That Rico was a weak ass Rico. At the end of the day, right? If this man, and Puff is a very smart, highly intelligent man, he not bringing none of that around him, drugs and all that, around people that he doing business with. A lot of those people showed they wasn't, credible, and then you had the witnesses that was hostile that kind of helped out the defense, like the Punisher, like the other sex worker, like the dude that was his assistant that still had love and appreciation for him and really didn't want to be on the stand. He helped out the defense because they lied and said this man was a horrible man, but they all wanted to work for him. They all still wanted to be in the man's company. So if a man is a horrible man, I don't get it. When I hear these people talk about, oh, I'm disgusted. I'm seeing people talking about Diddy's an evil man. He needs to be under the jail. Like, stop it, bro. He was found not guilty. He beat the Rico felony. He beat not only the Rico felony, but he beat the sex trafficking, which was the best charge. Now, when it comes to the other charge, he's not getting no serious time for that because, let's just keep it real, he was participating and he paid for their transportation and he engaged in sexual acts with these women. He didn't do a crime. It didn't say he forced them. He just said he got, it's the same thing that Elliot Spitzer, it's the same thing Anthony Weiner, it's the same thing, what's his name? Randall Tobias and many others that have been caught dealing with women that's lady of the nights. All that trying to lock somebody up. Like, come on, man. For what? When I hear people making excuses, y'all need to understand, Cassie wasn't a victim. She was a willing participant. Let's really talk about it. She wasn't a victim. A victim is a victim. A willing participant knows what they're gonna get into. She knew what she was getting into. You understand what I'm saying? The text messages that the defense put out there that show her saying, yo, when we gonna do another freak off? That woman wanted to go and get crazy. You ain't hear Puff said he had, you ain't hear none of them sex workers say that Puff had sex with them. Okay? You didn't hear none of the sex workers say, oh, Diddy had sex with us. You heard the sex workers said they had sex with Cassie and Cassie only. Just keep it real. They had sex with Cassie and Cassie only. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't like, oh, they had sex and... No, they had sex with Cassie. That was it. So, I just didn't understand how people can get mad with the man and make it seem like the man did something that he didn't do. They know what happened. You understand what I'm saying? They know what happened. You understand what I'm saying? They know what happened. And that's why the feds didn't, and I'm going to keep it real, didn't have a strong enough case. They overcharged. How you doing, chilling with love? Peace to you. It's crazy, yo. He had nothing to do with Tupac and Biggie. I keep telling you, the LAPD and the Compton sheriffs know what happened to Tupac and Biggie. That was a police killing. That was not a street killing. That was not a gang or none of that. It was a police killing. What happened between you and CK? CK lied on me, man. I don't fuck with that nigga. That nigga's a liar. Fuckboy liar. Really talk about that. He's a liar. Any informant, bro. So we don't really feel sorry for dude. You know? Mr. Gangsta Love. You know? That nigga's a cartoon character. But yeah, he old news. CK old news. We don't even talk about that dude. He's still on YouTube? I ain't seen him on YouTube in a minute. You know, so I don't know. I ain't seen him on YouTube in a long time, so I don't know if he's still on YouTube. But, like, I'm listening to dudes like Zip, man. Like, Zip, tell us why you really mad at Puff, man. Like, when I hear dudes, like, they so mad with a nigga that they don't know, like, Puff beat his case. Niggas supposed to be real niggas. That's why I don't understand why real niggas that went to war with the state or the feds is not happy that Puff did what he did. Do you know how many people Puff, if he come home, he can help out right now? That's what I don't understand. Do you know how many dudes, when it comes to like beating a case, he can help a lot of dudes get out of jail? And niggas is on here playing hate and talking about, oh, he ain't beat the feds. Nigga, he beat the feds, man. You talking about a nigga that was buried alive, was gonna be allegedly buried alive by the feds. He beat them. Do you know what it is to have a life sentence plus 15 years plus 20 to life? Come on, bro. And then you beat that? And you got these dudes on a platform talking about some sucker shit, Hassan Campbell's, the Zips, and all these other suckers hating. Like, that's some sucker shit. I'm not hating on no man that won a case against the feds. You know what I'm saying? That's fire. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people want to see Puff in jail, man. A lot of people saying, "Oh, Puff Diddy was done." Like you heard these people, they get on the YouTube now. They changing their tune and they say, "Yo, Diddy not done." Yeah, y'all changing y'all tune, but y'all was the main component saying that man was done. I knew he wasn't done. I knew he was going to beat that case because his defense played it well. They didn't like a smart lawyer is not going to put their client on the stand. A smart lawyer. You don't do that. You know what I'm saying? You don't put your client on the stand. You know what I'm saying? You let the defense do what it do, and the defense did what it did. They won the case. They made the feds look like amateurs. Because they did. They made Comey's daughter look like an amateur. They made his daughter look like an amateur. Straight up now. Because to be a prosecutor, and she's a young prosecutor. Like, she's not an older prosecutor. She's a young prosecutor. So her being a young prosecutor, just like how Diana, that was the John Gotti's prosecutor. She was a very young prosecutor, and she was really trying to make a name for herself. And for her to lose like that, you know, against Gotti 2 times, just shows you that you can't mess with certain lawyers, man. Like, Brian still is up there with Bruce Cutler. He's up there with what's my guy? Johnny Cochran. Preem lawyer. They ain't let him do Preem case, but he also, you know, spanked them. He was a good lawyer too. But it's not that many. More Siegel, who's another good lawyer. I think he was Herb Gotti and them lawyer. Like, these is good lawyers. They beat cases, man. They beat these cases. Joe Tacopina, he was Junior Gotti lawyer. He spanked the feds. Joe Tacopina was Junior Gotti's lawyer. A lot of people don't know that. He was Junior Gotti lawyer, Joe Tacopina. He's another good lawyer. You know what I'm saying? And when him and Junior Gotti beat the feds, they tore them to shreds because they had uncredible witnesses on the stand. Uncredible witnesses. You know, the witness that they had was your boy John A. Light. And John A. Light, they tore him up to shreds. You know? They tore him up to shreds because they proved he was a liar. And that's what your defense is supposed to do. Prove that the witness is a liar. Show that they're not credible and that they shouldn't be believed. And the jurors was not. A lot of people say, oh, the jurors are going to. I was listening to these YouTubers, man, like Tisa Tills, all these YouTubers was saying, oh, the jurors are going to go and they're going to go with the prosecutors because they're not going with Diddy, and lying to their supporters. And then you heard out the juror's mouth that they wasn't going with the prosecution, that they wasn't supporting the prosecutors. They wasn't. They saw that the case was weak, that this wasn't cause for RICO, and it was an oversaturated, weak-ass case that should have never even been in the feds at all. A lot of this shit, like even this transport and shit, right? The statute of limitations on that is already over with. I think the statute of limitations on the case with Cassie and Jane Doe has already passed. These are old cases. So it's crazy, you know? So that's why I told y'all, man, y'all can't listen to these YouTubers, man. Y'all can't listen to these people that come with these bullshit ass predictions. Half of their predictions be full of shit. You know, and that's why, like I said, the they lost the case. They lost the case because they knew. You know, you know, you know.
Brady's protected by the feds. Year after year, the LAPD keeps working the case.
So they, you know, so that just showed you right there, man, that they lost the case, man, just off of just being overzealous, being arrogant, and really not having a strong, solid case. They didn't have a strong, solid federal case. They had a weak ass case. And I knew from the beginning they had a weak ass case. And I told people on Clubhouse, I told people on YouTube, yo, that case against Diddy is weak as fuck, my nigga. Like, people was telling me, you don't know what you talking about. If the feds got you, they got you. They have a strong case. I was like, nah, man, y'all bugging. That case is weak. They ain't listen. They ain't listen, man. They basically was going with the facts that it was so solid that the feds got a 98% conviction rate, and they was like, yeah, he's going to. And come on, bro. You know, that's why they lost the case, because they really went off of the belief system and the spookism that because the feds got that conviction rate that they was going to convict and beat Puff. Like I said, man, it's a stupid case, man. Stupid case, man. You know, it wasn't no bribery, man. It wasn't no bribery. Nobody bribed. Listen, man, Puff has beaten the state one time with Johnny Cochran, right? He won against, like, he had Johnny Cochran, like, when Johnny Cochran was still alive. Y'all do remember that, right? And he won in 2001 against the state. And in 2025, he wins with Brian Steele. 24 years later, they beat the government. So that just shows you that when you have a great legal team, it is what it is. Puff has an extraordinary legal team. He is straight businessman. He was straight on his job, on his job. Really, he was on his job, and he made sure he won that case, and they won that case. They beat he beat the feds, and he beat the state of New York twice. He beat the state of New York and the city of New York twice. This is what it is. Like, he beat them with Johnny Cochran. Okay? He beat New York, like, the time, like, when Puff won his case, this is the Giuliani era. You know what I'm saying? This is the Giuliani era. He beats them with Johnny Cochran. He beats the feds with Brian Steele. Brian Steele right now is up there with Johnny Cochran. He's up there with Bruce Cutler. One of the best in the business. I'm going to be honest with you. He's one of the best lawyers in the business. Mark Garagos is another great lawyer. You know, what's my dude? Mandrews. He's another great lawyer. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that many great lawyers in the game, but those are great lawyers right there. Mark Garagos is a beast. You know, he was Michael Jackson's lawyer, you know, and Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? He represented them. So when you got a guy like that behind you, that's the best thing to have. He did beat them. What do you mean how he beat them? He did beat them. He beat the RICO. He beat the sex trafficking. Now, when it comes to the other case, which is the transporting and engaging in prostitution, that's he's low on the scale, and that's going to be either a time served or he's going to do a year and he's going to come out in a month. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to do no maximum. Like, people up here say, he's going to do 20 years, he's going to do 10. He's not doing 10 or 20 years. He's not. You know? He's not doing no 10 or 20 years for tricking. Come on. For tricking? For tricking? We doing 10, 20 years for tricking? That means you got to give everybody 10 to 20 years for tricking. You know what I'm saying? He's not in jail for nothing else but tricking. Tricking. Like everybody that's listening to this that has common sense, like, yo, y'all really holding this man for tricking? He beat the serious charge. Rico, he beat the serious charge. You know what I'm saying? Sex trafficking. Tricking is some bullshit. Y'all got this man for tricking. Like, yo, bro, this is what Robert Kraft did. This is what Elliot Spencer did. This is what Randall Tobias did. This is what Anthony Weiner did. Many others have done this. They did not go to jail. Hugh Grant got caught in the car with the prostitute. He didn't go to jail for tricking. So why is a man sitting in jail for just tricking? It's tricking, my nigga. Come on, bro. It's tricking. It's not like dudes making it seem like, oh, this nigga, he in jail for, he blew, like I'm listening to dudes say, oh, he won, he lost. Like anybody with common sense is listening to this and saying to myself, bro, this man is in jail for tricking. He's found not guilty for nothing else. He's found not guilty. Like, come on. $ Bullets Gotti. Hit the cash out if y'all want to. Support the platform, man. That's what I'm saying, Momo. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, they need to let Diddy go, man. Like, holding that man. Why are y'all holding that man in jail for tricking? He beat the serious charge. The serious charge that would have gave him crazy time. I could see if he'd have lost on the RICO, if he'd have lost on the sex trafficking. But he lost on tricking. He didn't lose on fucking nothing else. He found guilty on tricking. He didn't get thank you, Josiah. Thank you, Josiah. Yeah, make sure y'all support the platform, man. Hit that $ Bullets Gotti. But he didn't get caught off of anything else but just tricking. Appreciate chilling with love for doing that. The link is pinned. If y'all do want to support the platform, man, just hit the cash app $$ Bullets Gotti if y'all want to support. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to support, man? Hit the cash app $ Bullets Gotti if y'all like the content. You know what I'm saying? Nah, they not giving him no 10 years, man. Like, why would you get 10 years for tricking, man? Like, that's the thing I'm saying, bro. Like, 10 years for tricking is not, it's ridiculous, bro. Like, he's not getting 10 years. He's not getting 20 years, bro. That's tricking, my dude. Like, that's not like he's going to jail for tricking. We talking about tricking. You know? We're not talking about shit like what they saying. We talking about tricking. This man beat the feds. You know what I'm saying? He should have got bailed and should have got released, man. You know? You know what I'm saying? That's all they should have did, man. Free the man. Let him come home. Let him be with his family. Let him enjoy himself. Free. All that keeping him in there. What the fuck y'all keeping him in there for? Y'all keeping him, like, I don't get it. They keeping him in there like for what? Y'all keeping him in there for what? Like for tricking? Y'all keeping him in there for tricking? Like, come on, man. Y'all making them deny him bail for tricking? Like, that's not no crazy. Like, the RICO, I could see, like, when Cassie Lawyer and them was saying, oh, yeah, yo, he's a dangerous man. The stylist saying, oh, he's a dangerous man and he don't need to be. Like, that sentence that y'all had that he was a dangerous man, he beat that. He beat the RICO. He beat the RICO. So he's not a dangerous man if he beat the RICO and all the other charges. All the other charges was improving. All the other charges was improving. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? The judge got to be fair. Definitely, man. Kel's coming home, man. He coming home. Yeah, Cassie was stealing, man. Cassie was stealing. Cassie's a hyena, man. She was stealing. Cassie was not no victim. Cassie was a willing participant, and you heard the juror said it out his own mouth. We didn't believe any of that. We believe that she was a willing participant. Yeah, definitely. If y'all want to support the platform, y'all want to support the movement, make sure y'all hit the cash at $ Bullets Gotti. It's pinned it. If y'all want to support the platform and the channel, but she was a willing participant, like the juror said, and that was the alternate juror. So imagine if the other juror was dead. So they all knew, all the jurors knew that they was full of shit. Like it wasn't, it's not about no race thing. You know what I'm saying? That man's Caucasian. He knows she was full of shit. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have anything. People know people that's full of shit, and people know when people's telling the truth. Full of shit is full of shit. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. All that, he did this, he did that, like, let's stop that. Diddy ain't do nothing that these women didn't want to do. They wanted to have free calls. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to get high. They wanted to do all the crazy things. They wanted to live the life. You know what I'm saying? So, why y'all mad at Puff? He ain't a disgusting man. Y'all not saying these women is disgusting. I'm looking at Candace Owens and Megan Kelly and all these people. I ain't get the super chat back yet. So if you want to donate, man, just hit the cash app, $ Bullets Gotti, if you want to donate. The cash app right there, $ Bullets Gotti. Puff not getting 10 years. He's not. He doesn't meet the maximum, the requirement for him on the federal guidelines is not 10 years. Okay, he's not. He's a first-time offender. First-time offenders don't. He's not getting 10 years as a first. It's a point system, and he doesn't meet that point system of 10 years. He don't meet the point system of 20 years. You understand what I'm saying? It's a certain point system you have to meet to get that type of time. Now, if he would have lost and he would have got crazy, he would have lost the case and he would have got crazy time, that's a difference. But he doesn't meet the point system. The point system is the point system. That's the phase. You know, a lot of people got to understand that. So, Puff not going to do no crazy time in there, man. You know what I'm saying? They want him to do, man. He's a sharp individual, man. You know what I mean? He's a sharp dude, and he knew that, listen, we gonna beat this case, man. And he a fighter, man. Puff a fighter, man. Everybody was saying he was crazy for taking it to trial. They thought he wasn't gonna beat it, but he took it to trial and beat the shit. You know what I'm saying? He took it to trial and beat the shit. Cause really, like, the Mann Act, like I told y'all earlier, the Mann Act was created for black men dealing with white women. You know, the original name of that is called, as a fact, Cali beloved, the original name of that act was called the White Woman Act. From the White Woman Act, it turned into the Mann Act. But before then, it was the White Woman Act. You know, Jack Johnson, you know, Chuck Berry, and now Kells and Puff. And like I said, man, the whole that man in there, they know is come on, bro. Let that man go. Let him be with his family, man. Let him enjoy his life, man. You know what I'm saying? They try to railroad him. You know what I'm saying? He went up in there, he spanked them. He spanked them. You know? He spanked them. You know what I'm saying? He spanked them. A lot of people can't say the charge that was on them, they wasn't able to, you know what I'm saying, to beat. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, imagine if R. Kelly, right, would have had a great legal defense, and if R. Kelly would have went to trial, like, say around this time, he probably would have spanked them too. You know what I'm saying? Because basically, a lot of them women was lying. They went off of what the documentary. They went off of surviving R. Kelly. They didn't go off of what they could prove. They didn't prove. All they kept saying was they had new footage and they didn't even have no footage. So it was a lot of shit in his case. That's why they keep denying, but they know they got to give him an appeal. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to come home. He's coming home. You know, whether he has to go to the higher courts to come home, he's going to come home because He didn't get a fair trial. He got fucked over. You know what I'm saying? Because the case was weak. There was parts in his case, man, where people were lying on the stand, man. And the defense was exposing that, but he just didn't have a stronger defense. Like if he'd have had somebody like Mark Anifalo, you know, Teddy Garagos, and or Mark Garagos or Brian Steele, they would have spunked that. They would have spanked that case, man. They would have spanked that case. In Cosby case, they spanked it, but they did some bullshit. They did some bullshit in Montgomery County. You know what I'm saying? If that was anywhere else, that case would have never. That case right there would have never went anywhere. But it was biased, and they made him found guilty. But Bill Cosby would have beat that case. That's why his case got overturned. He's free. You know. That's why he's free. Who I look like? What actor? You know. These people. That's why I be trying to tell people, man. Like these. The new scheme today is getting a lawsuit. That's the new scheme today. But it's crazy though. No, it's crazy. Yo, Jim Jones is wilding, son. I watched his interview that he just did with Angie Martinez. That nigga is crazy, son. That nigga, yo, son, let me tell y'all something about Jim Jones, man. Jim Jones, in my opinion, suffers from delusions of grandeur. Cause for him to believe that he's better than Nas, or him to believe that he helped out Nas, or whatever he felt, right? I can't understand his logic, right? Because dogs, you was Cameron's hype man for so many years. You basically was not only his hype man, but you was basically a dude that was under him for so long that your career would have never went nowhere if it wasn't for Killer. You know, and he gets to this time to believe that his music is this and that, and like, nigga, your music is below average. You know, you're not better than Nas, bro. Like, stop it, bro. Nas out here, Nas is not, don't gotta compete with no Jim Jones, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, you not no legend. Cam is the legend, nigga. You not the legend, nigga. Like, you was Cam hype man. After Cam and Mace broke up, nigga, and he started, like I'm gonna keep it real with you, right? If Cam and Mace never would have fell out, Dipset would have never happened. Okay? Because Cam was originally Harlem World. What it do? What it do, Levi? You see they sick. Hey, Levi, I was just talking about Kels. I said, Kels, if they take that to the higher court like how Bill Cosby did, I said he gonna come straight home. Because what they gonna prove is that a lot of them people wasn't credible. And Dream, hey yo, Levi, did you watch CNN? Levi? Did you see Dream Hampton was out there that did Surviving R. Kelly? She was mad that Puff won the case. She was mad that Puff beat the feds, Levi. And that's why I said, like, it's an agenda going on. And I've been telling y'all that. Y'all gotta peep the play. Peep the play. The same people that's up in arms, that don't want certain people to come home, is the same people that's involved. And a lot of these dudes going to jail. Yeah, she was on CNN when the verdict came out. She was mad that Puff got acquitted on the RICO and the sex trafficking. I told people, I said, and I'm gonna keep it real, Levi. I said, if Kels would have went to trial later, and he would have not went to trial the year that he went to trial, he would have beat that case. He would have beat that case because they went off of the basis of the documentary. They ain't went off of the facts. They ain't went off of of what was proven. Just like with Diddy case. All he said, she said. So that's why they trying their hardest to stop Kels from getting. But I'm telling y'all, when Puff get home, him and Kanye gonna help get Kels home. I'm mark my words. Him and Kanye putting in that work. I'm telling y'all that right now. Kanye putting in that work. He putting in that work. Kanye and Puff, when Puff come home, he gonna be right by Kanye putting in that work. And a lot of dudes, you gonna see Tory Lanez come home, you gonna see Kels come home, and you gonna really, it's gonna be an expose of the federal justice system and the criminal justice system as a whole, how they are putting the cases to get black successful men is put sex cases on them like they did Jack Johnson. So you gonna start seeing that. You gonna start seeing that because this is what they doing. When they said Me Too movement was for all men, no, it was for us, but they had to throw the white men under the bus to make it seem like it wasn't biased, but they was giving us the harsher time with the Me Too movement. You know, if the higher courts didn't get involved in Bill Cosby case, Bill Cosby would still been in jail. Bill Cosby would have still been in jail because they wasn't letting him up. They was denying him his release. They did not want him to be on the street. They said he wasn't going to his programs. He wasn't doing anything. He wasn't trying to do. They denied him of his bail. Not his bail. They denied him as a release. And because they denied his release, his lawyers took it to the higher courts. The higher court said this case was illegal. This should have never happened. They overturned the conviction. And them motherfuckers was sick. Same thing in the Diddy case. They sick right now. They sick right now. And they gonna be super sick when Kels come home. Because in his case, they're gonna show a lot of inconsistencies. They're gonna show a lot of these people lying. You see the parents coming out right now saying he need to be coming home. It's wrong. They need to free that man. Like this, the parents are saying that. Why? Because they know they lied. They know that all of them was full of shit. And that's why they getting exposed for being full of shit. A lot of those women was jealous that they didn't get the fiance or the marriage treatment. Y'all gotta realize these women is crying victim when they don't get their way. Long as they got their way, long as they was in position, long as they was happy, they ain't say nothing about, oh, he did this to me. I was being trafficked. No, they was saying, I love my man. I love him. He's a great man. He does so much for me. Y'all got it wrong. But like I said, when the money get low, when daddy move on, now everybody want to cry victim. That's why I be trying to tell y'all, man, y'all got to stop believing and these women be lying, man. These 304s be lying. Look at Brittany Renner right now, right? She says she is a Muslim, right? She wearing a hijab, right? She was wearing a hijab. She's wearing all the Muslim garments. She's wearing her burqa. And then when Kevin Gates was like, I'm done with her, you know, like he was on his Nino Brown shit, cancel that hoe. She like, what am I going to do? I know what I'm going to do. She took off that burqa. She took off that hijab. And she went back to what she know. And what she know is being a 304. What she know is being in them streets. Y'all gotta be honest, man. These women don't want to be religious. They want to be Jezebels and harlots. They want to be in them streets. These are the same women that'll cry. That's why I said, man, all these chicks will cry sexual assault, will cry foul when you don't want to be with them. You know what I'm saying? Ain't even the rate. It used to be, you know, yo, you get the white chick, she gonna cry sexual assault on you. It ain't even the white chicks no more. It's your own type of woman that look like you. It's all these women. They all crying that. Real talk. They all crying it. They trying to get a payday. And then they going to the next nigga, to the next nigga, to the next nigga. You know what I'm saying? Cassie is a perfect example. Salute, salute, Black. I see my man Black in the building. Salute, my guy. My guy, man. My guy. That's my guy right there, Black, man. Salute. They don't want to let him go. They don't want to let that life go. That lifestyle is too much for these women. They don't want no regular dude. They want a dude that's him. Pac said it best, man. He said, yo, before I got fame, 5 years ago, them chicks didn't even know my name. Let's keep it real, man. These women is only here for one thing and one thing only. They there to deal with dudes with money. They there to be in the lifestyle. And if things don't go their way, they start crying foul. Let's keep it real. Lisa Van Allen is a perfect example. Her, Aaliyah uncle, the Ali's old nigga, plotted on Kels. She got exposed in the 2008 case where Kels was found not guilty in, where he beat all the charges. That's why I said they should have never came to him federally, because he beat the state. He beat the state of Illinois. He beat them, right? They come out and say, surviving R. Kelly. Tasha K go reaching out. Double jeopardy. Thank you, Levi. Tasha K come out and get Lisa Van Allen. Now, Lisa Van Allen, shout out to her. Shout out to X-Men, because I be on Clubhouse with him, Levi. Duswa, right, is the dude that exposed Lisa Van Allen, her scam that she got going on, that she was trying to extort R. Kelly, right? She was trying to extort him. And basically, he testified and said, nah, that's not true. He helped out R. Kelly. R. Kelly got found not guilty because she lied on the stand and said that man did what he did and he ain't did nothing to her. She was a low down, dirty scoundrel. She was a low down, dirty leech. She's a liar. And a lot of these women, the Lisa Van Allens, the Cassies, the Capricorn Clarks, all these type of women, whoever you want to name, is all the same. They all got the same motives. The man don't want to be with them. They don't want to leave. Desiree Washington lied on Mike Tyson. Instead of her being truthful to the people when she was in that beauty pageant, she lied and said, I got assaulted by Mike Tyson. When he ain't even assaulted her. She was with it. She was with the sex. She was with it. That's why our homegirl, Claudia Jordan, always wanna talk greasy, say, Mike he's a monster. She do a slander campaign. She did a slander campaign on R and Puff, which is crazy, but this is what these hoes do. 304s. So the 304, Desiree Washington, didn't want to accept the fact that she a hoe. That she went to Mike Tyson hotel room to get down with him. Instead of her being truthful and saying, you know what? I was wrong. I violated my curfew. I was being a groupie. And That's what happens when you be a groupie. You don't want to admit, you want to lie. And she lied. And then you got Ayanna Jackson with Tupac. Straight up liar. You got dudes saying this man a sexual assault. They call this man a sexual assaulter. This is what they call him. A sexual offender. Tupac's a sexual offender. Tupac's not a sexual offender. Shorty sucked him off in the middle of the dance floor at Club Nails. Okay? She sucked him off in the middle of the dance floor. Was trying to get it popping with him. Okay? She was a groupie, jump off. That was a pass around from nigga to nigga. Instead of her owning up to the fact that she allowed, that she could have said, you know, Haitian Jack and his man's Ricky, they ran a train on me. She could have admitted to, oh, them niggas ran a train on me. He ain't did nothing to me. He smashed me, then he left about the room. But she ruined that man's life. And by her ruining that man's life, that man went to jail. That man went to jail. Because she ruined that man's life. And he went to jail for some bullshit. Touching the forceful touching of the buttocks. Like, what? Like that was crazy, yo. Like, and the sad part about it is that it was another weak case. They had nothing on, son. And that's why I'm saying, like, when you look at these sexual cases, man, these women be with it. Ain't nobody put no guns to these women's heads. A hoe is a hoe. No matter how hard they try to not want to make it seem like they not, a hoe is a hoe, man. You got a lot of these women that try to act like, nah, I'm not that. I'm not a hoe. But these women be hoes, man. They don't want to deal with accountability. You know? You know? They don't want to deal with accountability. You know, if they dealt with accountability, a lot of people wouldn't be going to jail. You know? Gotta let a hoe be a hoe. But when these hoes start jeopardizing men's freedom because they ass don't want to take, you know, listen. If a man don't want to deal with you no more, he don't want to deal with you no more. Okay? He don't want to deal with you no more. That's on you. If a man say, yo, you doing too much, and I don't want to deal, and you know, it's over between us, go your way. It's other fish in the sea. Other fish in the sea. Go your way. Ain't nobody, you know, trying to save, like, and I tell people, like, the game is the game, bro. The game is the game. And a lot of people is mad, you know? You know? You know? It's just crazy how people could lie just to make themselves feel good, to get people jammed up in fake ass cases. You know? You know? Cassie was a pass around prostitute. I keep trying to tell niggas, man. In the entertainment business, a lot of these chicks will do something strange for some change. You give a chick some alcohol or some weed at one of these video shoots, okay? You give some alcohol or some weed for some of these women at these video shoots. They fucking off the spot. All right? These federal judges and these prosecutors don't care if these people lying. They just want to make the person look bad. They don't care if a person is lying on somebody. You fighting for your life. And they don't even care. Because in their mind, they feel like, nah, let them lie. Nah, fuck that. Ain't no let them lie. This is my freedom, man. You know what I'm saying? And in Diddy's case, it's like, how can women feel good about themselves taking men from their fathers? You know, it's like taking people from their fathers. Do people really see, like people don't understand how much people R. Kelly fed, how much people Bill Cosby fed, how much people that Puffy fed. Like, it's so many people that like Michael Jackson, when he went through what he went through, man, is that it was so sad that man, you know, before he died, went through so much pain and suffering that he didn't have a great enjoy his life, because people said all type of things, and they was extorting Michael Jackson, man. They was extorting Michael Jackson for years. They was extorting him, and the sad part is, the dude died on his deathbed and wanted to say the truth, that he said that year when I think he was dying, or he wrote this when he committed suicide, right? And he said out his own mouth that basically he was lying and that he apologized for lying. But you ruined that man's life. You actually ruined that man's life. That man loved those kids and treated those kids like they was his own. And for them to lie when he brings them to his house, to say that he touched them and he didn't touch them, was so wrong and foul. You know, it was so wrong and foul. And all because they didn't like the fact Michael Jackson had everybody catalog. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, regular people will take plea deals because if you don't understand the law, and if you ain't got legal, that's why I said earlier, if y'all listen to what I told y'all, I said, yo, if you got a lawyer and you got a lawyer on retainer, you never take a plea deal. You fight. You take that to trial. Dudes that take plea deals, you pleading guilty to something you did not do. So if they want to violate you, and even though you had an agreement with the plea deal, they could violate you and give you maximum time. So it's best to go with your lawyer and fight it, because if you do lose, you have grounds to win in an appeal. So that's what people don't understand, bro. All that taking it to trial, or people saying, "Oh, that's stupid. That's suicide. You dumb." Like, people was mad that Diddy took it to trial. Like, I was listening to how people was mad. Like, people be mad when people take it to trial. Like, they was mad at Bill Cosby. They was mad at Diddy, R. Kelly, take all the three of them for taking it to trial. Even Michael Jackson. They mad at them for taking it to trial and not pleading. Like, who's pleading for something that they did not do? Like, I'm not pleading to nothing I didn't do. I'm taking this shit to trial because in trial, my attorney's gonna win. Because we're gonna make sure we got our evidence right. We're gonna make sure we got our case. Our case is gonna be good. We don't want to go in there half-ass. I'm not sitting up there like that's That's crazy to me when I hear niggas say, "Oh, I'll take the plea deal." Like taking a plea deal. And if you know you ain't do nothing, you never take no plea deal. Never take no plea deal. That's why I be like, yo, some of you gangsters, some of you fake gangsters, yo, y'all dudes be fake gangsters, man. Y'all dudes be fake gangsters. Because the way y'all talk, we could tell that y'all not about that life. Y'all not about that life, man. Y'all not about that life. Y'all act like y'all about that life, but y'all not about that life, man. Because if y'all was about that life, y'all will understand that, you know, taking to the trial is better than going up there. You want to be judged. I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. You know? These dudes ain't even about that life, man. Cause all them dudes that take them plea deals, they look shady to me. They look shady to me, man. I'm sorry, bro. You know what I'm saying? That lawyer ain't working for you. He working for the district attorney. He working for the prosecutors. Yo, yo, Demo. Yo, that was you that hit me up on Instagram, bruh. Cause I was trying to I DM'd you back. I don't know if that was you, but if that was you that wrote in my comments, yo, bro, check your DM. Cause I wrote you back. But if that ain't you, hold on. I'm gonna give you my email, and you just email me, family, and we can just talk. We talk business. Oh, that was you. Oh, I'm gonna give you my email. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put my email in the chat. And anybody that want to talk business, oh, and let me just tell y'all this too. I got the merch coming, man. It's just I've been so fucking busy that I ain't been able to fucking go take the shirts. Hold on. I'm about to show y'all right now. Cause I don't want y'all to think, oh, Gotti just capping. He ain't got the t-shirts. He ain't got the t-shirts. That's my email right there. Bro. When people say, yo, Gotti, you be capping, bro. You ain't got the t-shirts for the merch. Hold on. I'm about to show y'all right now. I got the t-shirts for the merch. It's just I ain't got them done yet. But this is the shirts right here. And it's good quality shit. See? It's the shirts right here. So I don't want people to think, oh, that nigga Gotti, he just capping. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of them in a bag. See? And it's gonna be the first. This is the first batch of the t-shirts that I'm selling. So, all right, the first batch. Those gonna be like the first batch of shirts I'm gonna sell. So these first batch, I'm help y'all out. I'm not gonna go crazy. This first batch, I'm selling the shirts for 20. But the second batch, the shirt's gonna be $50. You know what I'm saying? It's business, nothing personal. But the first batch is gonna do. I'ma sell for 20. You know what I'm saying? And it's great material. So, you know what I'm saying? I ain't giving y'all no flimsy, bogus, cheap ass t-shirts, nigga. I'm giving y'all that good quality, that good shit. So that's what I don't know, son. I got family in St. Louis. I don't know. I might be related to Nelly. I don't know. I don't know. My great grandfather was living in St. Louis. You know, my grandfather got family in St. Louis. I don't know, man. Might be a long look. You know, man. Gotta check out my motherfucking what you call my ancestry. You ain't never know. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, man, like I said, man, that case against Diddy was so weak. It was pointless, man. A lot of people just don't like the man, and they just want to call this man a monster. They want to call him this. They want to call him that. But I don't see where he was a monster. What was the monster? You know what I'm saying? I just think that people just wanted Puff to lose and he won. You know what I'm saying? That's when you got angels around you and you got good people. Everybody want to say, oh, it's bribery. Oh, he sold his soul. Like, nah, man. It's just that man is blessed and he gave his blessings to the Most High, man. You know what I'm saying? He gave his blessings to the Most High because they was trying to railroad him. You know what I'm saying? They was doing him filthy and they was doing him wrong. You know what I'm saying? These people came up here and they just didn't want that man to be free, and they still don't want him to be free. You know what I'm saying? They want him to sit up in there for a long time if they have it their way. So it is what it is, man. It's your boy Bullets Gotti. Salute y'all. You have a blessed one.